Maple Street had a habit of pretending. It pretended to be quiet, pretended to be safe, pretended that nothing bad ever stayed long enough to matter. People here trusted patterns more than people. Same cars, same lights, same greetings. Routine was their religion. Anything that broke it was dismissed quickly, like a bad thought you refused to finish. That was why no one noticed the girl at first. Her name was Lily Harper, 22. Worked evenings at a small diner off the highway, walked home most nights because the streetlights were bright and the distance was short. She waved at neighbors, smiled at dogs, left no reason for worry behind her. On the night she disappeared, the sky was clear and the air still, the kind of night that feels harmless. The diner closed at 9. Lily clocked out, tied her jacket, and stepped into a life that believed it would continue exactly as planned. She never made it home. By morning, her absence felt like a mistake rather than a danger. Her mother assumed she'd stayed with a friend. A coworker thought she'd asked for a day off. Hours passed before concern sharpened into fear. When the police finally came, they walked Maple Street slowly, like guests who didn't want to offend. Doors opened politely, voices lowered. Everyone said the same thing. "I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. She probably left on her own." The street agreed too easily. Detective Aaron Cole arrived 2 days later, when certainty had already settled into denial. He had the look of a man who listened more than he spoke, lines around his eyes from years of unfinished stories. He didn't carry urgency loudly, he carried it quietly. The first thing he noticed wasn't the houses. It was the way people avoided standing too close to each other. Fear hadn't spread yet, but discomfort had, and discomfort meant secrets were nearby. Aaron walked the path Lily would have taken, counted the steps, noted the shadows. Crime always borrowed from geography. It used corners, fences, trees. It hid where light failed. Halfway down the street, he stopped. There was no sign of struggle, no broken routine. That was the problem. People didn't vanish without help. He started knocking. Most doors opened wide, like performances. Neighbors described Lily kindly, vaguely. Everyone wanted to be helpful, no one wanted to be useful. Then there was the house with the tight curtains. Daniel Price lived alone. Early 40s, worked from home, rarely social but known. The kind of man who existed just enough not to be questioned. Daniel answered the door quickly, too quickly. He smiled, calm, measured. His voice stayed even, like he'd practiced it in his head before using it aloud. He said he didn't know Lily personally, said he slept early, said the street was quiet that night. Aaron thanked him and stepped away. But something lingered. Experience taught Aaron that danger didn't always feel loud. Sometimes it felt rehearsed. The days that followed brought pressure. News vans, flyers, candlelight vigils. Maple Street wanted its normal life back. The town wanted reassurance, not investigation. Aaron worked late. He reread statements, timelines, small details people didn't think mattered. Lily's routine, her habits, the way she trusted familiarity. One detail stood out. Multiple neighbors mentioned the same woman, Ellen Ward. Friendly, calm, organized. She had helped coordinate searches. She was the first to suggest Lily might have run away, the first to remind everyone not to panic. People trusted her instantly. Aaron made a note. That night, he returned to Maple Street alone. Not officially, no badge, no lights, just observation. Some houses slept openly. Others hid behind drawn curtains. Daniel's lights were on. Aaron stood still, listening. Old neighborhoods whispered if you stayed long enough. Pipes, floorboards, space that sounded wrong. Then he heard it. Not a sound, an absence of one. A hollow beneath the house. It took a warrant to confirm what instinct already knew. Under the floorboards, they found traces, evidence without spectacle, proof without drama, the kind of truth that didn't scream, it whispered until denial collapsed. Daniel didn't resist arrest. At the station, he spoke easily. He explained loneliness like it was a condition, not a choice. Said Lily noticed him, said attention changed things, said control felt like safety. He never raised his voice. That frightened Aaron more than anger ever could. The trial was quick. The town exhaled publicly. Justice, they said, had been served. But silence returned heavier. Aaron stayed longer than planned. Something about the case felt incomplete. He revisited witness statements. Again, Ellen Ward's name appeared, steady, guiding, calming, too present to be coincidence, too clean to be accidental. Aaron knocked on her door. She welcomed him warmly. Her house was immaculate, calm colors, no clutter, but near the stairs, partially hidden, sat a box. Newspaper clippings, missing persons, unsolved cases, different towns, similar language. Aaron noticed his gaze. "Some stories don't end," she said gently. "People like closure more than truth." Aaron said nothing. There wasn't enough evidence. Not yet. He left Maple Street knowing something dangerous still lived there, not in darkness, but in guidance, in voices that redirected suspicion, in people who taught towns how to look away. Years later, another girl vanished. Different street, same pattern, and this time, Aaron was ready. Aaron didn't return to Maple Street immediately. He let the evidence settle, let the trial play out, but the box in Ellen Ward's house haunted him. He couldn't shake it. Missing persons, unsolved cases, patterns repeating across towns, innocent lives disappearing quietly, leaving towns to assume the safest explanation. They left on their own. He began connecting the dots. Every case had a whisper in common. A woman like Ellen Ward, polite, calm, reasonable, trusted, always a guiding hand telling neighbors and families to stay calm, to wait, to believe the routine was fine. Aaron mapped it out. Old towns, small streets, quiet neighborhoods. It was chilling. Every time the pattern appeared, the disappearances followed. Weeks later, a new report came in from a town 5 hours away. A young woman, Vanessa, vanished during her evening walk. Similar circumstances. No struggle, no witness, just absence. Aaron drove immediately. He walked the streets, studied the houses, the routines, the people. He noticed the patterns fast, the well-kept yards, the polite neighbors, the one woman who always seemed to be guiding the responses. Her name was Ellen Ward. It couldn't be the same woman, could it? Aaron dug deeper. He pulled public records, travel histories, past residences. The woman's name kept popping up in strange coincidences. She moved often, always appearing after small towns reported disappearances, then leaving before questions got too personal. Something about her made Aaron's stomach tighten. He found her living in a quiet house near the edge of town. The mailbox read Ellen Ward, just like Maple Street. He parked across the street and watched. Nothing seemed unusual. The curtains were drawn, lights flickered inside. She moved calmly, deliberately. There was a rhythm to her movements, precise. Aaron knew enough to be patient. This wasn't about confrontation yet. This was about observation. Over the next several days, he watched her routines. Every evening, she would leave the house for exactly 37 minutes, always returning at the same time. She carried nothing visible, but every day the rhythm repeated. He checked the local library records and found it. Every small town where Ellen had appeared had one similarity. Missing girls, patterns of delayed investigations, towns convinced nothing was wrong. Aaron began documenting, mapping, timing, predicting. Then the breakthrough came unexpectedly. A delivery driver reported a strange package addressed to Ellen. The description was vague, small box, no label, but the driver remembered it. She paid cash, refused a receipt. That box could be the link he needed. Aaron followed. Ellen drove calmly, no rush, no awareness of anyone following her. She stopped at a small storage facility on the outskirts of town. She unlocked a unit and placed the box inside carefully. Aaron waited until she left and then approached. Inside, the storage unit smelled faintly of damp and paper. The boxes were stacked meticulously.
Each contained small personal items, jackets, notebooks, small mementos, all belonging to missing girls. Aaron froze. Evidence. Tangible, undeniable. He called the local police. Backup arrived. Ellen returned during the search, calm as ever. No panic, no resistance, only control. She smiled at the police, amused that they had followed her. During interrogation, she spoke slowly, her voice soft, measured. People always believe what they want to believe, she said. They see a calm face, they trust it. That's all it takes. Aaron leaned forward. All those girls, were you responsible? Her smile never faltered. Responsible? No. I'm careful. I guide. I observe. Life takes care of the rest. He realized then that some criminals never leave fingerprints. They manipulate. They hide in plain sight.
And when everything was finally over, when the trials ended, when the headlines faded, when the streets returned to routine, Maple Street still felt different. People locked their doors sooner. They listened more carefully at night. They looked at each other longer. Because once you realize how easily evil can hide, you never see the world the same way again. Detective Aaron Cole left town quietly. No speeches, no goodbyes. He carried only one truth with him, that danger rarely announces itself. It doesn't shout, it doesn't threaten, it whispers. It hides in calm voices, in friendly smiles, in familiar faces. And the scariest part is that it only survives when we choose not to look. So tonight, when your street feels quiet, when your neighborhood feels safe, when everything seems normal, remember this: silence is not peace. Routine is not safety. And sometimes the darkest secrets are buried beneath the most ordinary streets. End.